Mick Foley debuted at AEW Double or Nothing back in May, and he had this to say about AEW that is making a lot of AEW haters angry.
Screw the script!
Welcome back, everybody, to Screw the Script. I'm your host, as always, Maverick here. Thanks for joining me this Tuesday evening. It's Tuesday. This is, I think, my 4th edition, so if you've been here for a while, you know what's about to happen. It is the top turnbuckle topic that I do every Tuesday that I started last month. This is the 4th edition. Real quick, before I get into that, like, comment, and subscribe. As always, you guys are being very helpful, so thank you again for all of that you do. Hyping the video really helps. Again, I cannot stress it enough how much it helps this channel, so thank you very much. This channel wouldn't exist without you guys, so again, thank you. Now, going on to the top turnbuckle topic of this video.
Yeah, top turnbuckle topic. It's time to swoop. Maver's got the scoop. It's the top turnbuckle topic.
Let me know down below if you like that quick little intro for this segment. Just playing around with it. I made the logo off Canva. I make a lot of things off Canva. My thumbnails, all that stuff. The topic of discussion for this video is going to be about Mick Foley. He, again, like I said at the beginning of the video, debuted at Double or Nothing late last month in May. It was arguably AEW's best pay-per-view from start to finish ever. It's in the top 5 for me. I think it sits at number 3. I'm still sitting on it. I want to say it's number 3. But to many, it was their best pay-per-view ever. And honestly, it was one of the best pay-per-views, period, in the last 5 years, across all promotions. And Mick Foley had a big part in that. He had a fun segment during the buy-in. If nobody saw that, you can probably find it on YouTube, on AEW's page now. Really good promo that he cut with Darby Allin. MJF got involved. And then you even saw Darby Allin do a tribute to Mick Foley's career by doing the bang bang right before he plunged 15 feet down from the entrance tunnel down through MJF and a table. It was a fantastic spot. But more importantly, this video is going to be about what Mick Foley recently said. I believe it was yesterday or maybe over the weekend in a recent interview. Or actually, if I remember right, it's not even an interview. He just straight up released a video, I think, on his socials about why AEW is different and why he chose now to join AEW. I've got some screen grabs for you here on what he said. I'll read through it. You can read along with me if you'd like. He goes on to say, I know it's been a week since I made my debut on AEW, so yeah, this was last week. But I just wanted to spend a couple minutes thanking everybody involved for making it such a special night for me. Now, there's nothing wrong with getting a nostalgia pop. And I've received plenty of those, and they feel good. But the reaction I received in New York was different. It was a reaction that said, we're glad you're here. And that I could still make a difference. And that is huge. He goes on to say, and in no way am I here to throw stones at WWE. I love the company. I always will. I will always be deeply appreciative for every opportunity they afforded me. But there's something unique about seeing the owner of the company, Tony Khan, just so obviously happy and excited, which he is. I mean, time he comes out, I've been to 4 live events, and I swear to God, he snorts a line of cocaine or something before he comes out, because he's just so energetic. Obviously, that's a joke. He doesn't actually do drugs. He really is passionate about the art, the sport of pro wrestling, and you don't see that where Mick Foley came from. WWE under TKO is a shell of what it once was. It's nowhere near as good as it was during Mick Foley's era. He goes on to say, Mr. McMahon had a different way of doing things, but it wasn't with that type of joy. And it just seems like to me, the AEW wrestlers are out there and they are playing to win because it is understood that failure is part of the process. He then goes on to say, I have seen so many people over the years almost petrified to walk through that curtain because they didn't know whether they'd get the thumbs up or the thumbs down, figuratively speaking. Today, Tony is excited. Tony loves what he's doing. He's happy to be there. And I think that type of enthusiasm makes me feel enthusiastic. After I did my in-ring promo, a couple of the wrestlers on the card said, hey, so I guess you'll be taking the hop now? I was like, what am I going to do? Watch Friends reruns in my hotel room? So it seems like he stayed pretty much through the whole show backstage. I'm sure he had a lot of wise words said to a lot of the younger talent in AEW. I'm sure he spoke with Darby Allin quite a bit throughout the night. It's just great to read here. There's a show, and it wasn't just a show, it was an amazing show. People were so excited. The energy backstage reminds me of the way WWE felt during the Attitude Era, when we were all actively pulling for each other, but we also understood that striking out was part of the process of hitting monumental home runs. Very true. I'm really glad to be in a place where wrestlers are encouraged to swing for the fences, where it's understood that not every hit's going to leave the park. And then finally, this is a bigger screen grab, my favorite part. I'm excited about where this adventure is going to take me. I consider myself like a Swiss Army knife, and I can be used a lot of different ways. And I'm excited about the future, and I'm excited about wrestling in a way that I haven't been in a few years. I want to thank AEW fans and the AEW product for helping me fall in love with professional wrestling all over again. Emphasis on that last sentence because it's so damn true. I mean, that shit happened for me. 2019, I was about to check out. I was about to cash out of pro wrestling, period. I did it once before, way back in like 2011 or 10, somewhere around there, and I didn't watch it for a year or two. WWE reeled me back in for a little bit, but then it just got so damn bad in like 2018 and 2019, and I almost checked out. I was pretty much done for pro wrestling in America. Then that's when I got into New Japan and all these other promotions back 8 years ago. And then found BTE on YouTube around that same time. And you and I and many others out there fell in love with the idea of AEW. And we were excited when it was finally announced. And AEW became a thing, and the rest is history. And now we have yet another WWE legend, another person that has come from the other side of the wrestling world in the United States, claiming that AEW is much more enthusiastic, it's much more entertaining, it's more joyful, it's more fun, it's more creative. I mean, the list goes on. Obviously, at the beginning of that, he said that he's not trying to throw stones at WWE, but he pretty much did. I mean, we know Foley doesn't like TKO. I don't like TKO. I know you watching don't like TKO. And for those of you who are watching that do, and are probably down in the comments as I'm speaking while you're watching this, probably, breaking your fingers on the keyboard saying that AEW sucks, blah, blah, blah. What base do you have to stand on? AEW put on the best pay-per-view of the year. AEW consistently puts on the best weekly shows. I'm very excited for Dynamite tomorrow. I know you are too. And they have the best roster out of all of professional wrestling right now. Hands down. And they are being ran by a guy who thrives in the culture, who loves professional wrestling. He just doesn't do it for the money like those TKO money-hungry assholes do. He does it because he loves the products. He too was that little child watching pro wrestling in their living room growing up and grew up to be the owner of AEW. And that is what I like to see. Mick Foley agrees. I'm sure all of you agree. And this is really, really getting anti-AEW fans pissed off, and WWE stans, they are just pissed. I see people all over social media basically like outing Mick Foley from their lives, basically kind of like when you see an NFL team lose in a playoff game and you see those people record videos of them burning their jerseys. That's the equivalent. I'm seeing a lot of heat towards Mick Foley for saying this, but those are all just people that are E-stans, that are AEW haters, that don't like to admit the truth when it slaps them in the fucking face. Speaking of Tony Khan, he mentions that Jon Moxley, going on to other news now, has been doing a great job backstage while speaking about his own AEW schedule. The thing with wrestling that's very different is there's no off-season. We have a great group, but I'm generally the only person who comes to every show. In recent years, Moxley is doing a great job backstage and has been at everything, but I have been at every AEW show since the beginning. It's a lot of travel, but I love it. Again, just phenomenal. And Jon Moxley is a workhorse for the company. He is AEW through and through. He'll never go back to WWE. I saw that was like a rumor a week or two ago that people were thinking that, oh, hey, he's going to walk out and return to WWE and they're going to reform the Shield and blah, blah, blah. And now more news on Tony Khan. This comes from Kyle Fletcher. I have never met a more hardworking person. He's constantly busy doing something or flying somewhere, but somehow he's always had enough time to have a conversation with me about wrestling. Every time I ask him about where he's been or how many hours he's slept, it's always some crazy answer, and that just makes me respect him even more. Our passion is the same. It's really inspiring and makes me want to work even harder. That comes from Kyle Fletcher, who I think is one of the best young pro wrestlers under the age of 30. Him and Kevin Knight I think, are the two best. There's other greats out there too. You got, Jack Perry, you got young Nick Wayne, who's 21 next month. A plethora of young talent in AEW. But Kyle Fletcher, he is that star. Him and Kevin Knight, I think, are really going to carry AEW over the next 10, 15 years as some of these older vets slowly start retiring. And it's great to see that you have the young talent really back Tony Khan like that, because you don't see the same thing with WWE, which was to Mick Foley's point. Now on to a little bit of news from the remainder of the video before the DDT segment. I forgot to touch base on this last week, but AEW is bringing Ring of Honor's Survival of the Fittest tournament to AEW TV to crown the new TBS champ. So I just simply want to know down below what you guys think is going to happen with that. Who do you think is going to end up winning? Who do you think is going to be the this wild card against Alex Windsor tomorrow on Dynamite? Again, let me know in the comments down below. Grand Slam Mexico is happening just a few weeks before All In Wembley. Crazy traveling that AEW is going to be doing, but they are going back to Mexico for Grand Slam. It is going to be Wednesday, August 5th. I'm extremely excited for this because the Mexico crowd for the AAA event this past weekend for WWE was the best thing that they've done in forever, and it wasn't even a main PLE. But again, announced by Fox Sports Mexico, AEW is returning to Mexico City with Grand Slam Mexico live from Arena Mexico on Wednesday, August 5th. Tickets will go on sale this upcoming Saturday, June 6th at 10 a.m. local time. Forbidden Door and NXT Great American Bash are going to be going head-to-head with the same weekend coming up in July. So we'll see what happens there. I'm almost certain that Great American Bash is going to end up getting moved prior. It'll probably be like a 3 p.m. start time. We'll see. If they actually truly go head-to-head at the same time slot, I'm not even doubting for a second that Forbidden Door will be the better product and will get more attention. And one more quick thing before the DDT segment. This is now moving on to MLW. MLW Fusion this Saturday. I know it's going to be competing with Collision, but I'm going to try and watch both, or at the very least watch this Sunday. Great tag team match that is announced. The Skyscrapers and Dijak and Dyer are going against the Good Brothers. Tables match for the MLW World Tag Team Championship. This is going to be very telling. I'm going to watch it because it seems like a great tag team match. But if the rumors are true that Bishop Dyer is going back to being Baron Corbin in WWE, we'll see these two drop the tag titles. If that happens, the rumors are likely true. If they retain the titles, then it might be a bunch of bullshit. But we'll see the Saturday. Catch it, because Fusion this last weekend was really, really good. If you haven't watched it yet, I highly recommend it. It's free on YouTube. And now for the DDT segment of this video. We got two today. First, Matt Walker goes on to say, AEW doesn't tell stories. AEW is a series of one-off matches. It's still basically like the independents. I'm always hearing about AEW and how great it is. Yet, I have yet to see one thing on social media that made me say, hey, I'm going to turn that on. What an awful take. But what happened down below is hilarious. These two people. Jay Vincent says, you seem to still be living in 2022 with that narrative of AEW. That's fine, though. Hope you enjoyed the funeral for the gingerbread man. He goes on to say he weighed more than Darby Allin. Another shot at Darby Allin. And this other person below that says, from day one, they've been telling storylines. That's a lie you chose to accept, which is classic Eastan AEW hater mentality. They see one thing, and without even doing actual research or watching the fucking product like you should be weekly to understand anything, they just spew this bullshit out of their mouths. And so for that reason, Matt Walker, you're the first part of this video's DDT. And lastly, Tyler Soltis with Fanatics. This is like a little video actually on socials, but I just screen grabbed it. He says, WWE Clash in Italy surpasses Double or Nothing for pay-per-view of the year. And it's literally just a minute-long video of him trying to bullshit his way through why it was better. And it was an awkward watch because it doesn't even seem like he convinces himself into believing that. It just looks like he's like held at gunpoint or forced to say it. I don't know. It was really bad. And if you can find it on socials, obviously everyone in the comments is completely grilling him. And again, this is with Fanatics, so it's not like an AEW run page or WWE ran page. It's not one way or another. He just posted this and a ton of people are bashing him for it. This is crazy. Even WWE fans in the comments on this video were saying, hey, I'm a WWE diehard, but this is a bunch of bullshit. And so for all of those reasons, Tyler Soltis, you are the second half of this video's DDT. That's all I had on Screw the Script. Let me know down below your thoughts on everything that I talked about, the Mick Foley stuff. Are you gonna watch MLW Fusion? And now, to touch base on my hacker. That computer came in, I'm gonna get it booted up, and I'm gonna put in the SD card either tonight or tomorrow after work. So at some point before my next video on Thursday, you guys will see a post on my YouTube page, kind of explaining again what I found on it. If it's anything else that may need to be shared further, I might talk about it in my next video. So I just wanted to touch base on that. We're gonna take down this hacker together, because we are the Screw the Script Society. As always, this has been Maverick with Screw the Script. Thanks for watching.